Start from the Chav Gimel and Aleph on top of the page, and I'll tell you what's happening here. 4 lines on top. So Rabchia Bar Ovin came along and said the name of Shmuel. If somebody makes a vow, this is word of Chav Gimel and Aleph. If somebody makes a vow, and in the vow they said that I won't eat. That's all he said, I won't eat. And then he drank. He didn't eat. He just drank. They're chayiv because they breached their vow. And the chiddush is that eating is not limited to eating. Eating also includes drinking. And the mother asked, "How do you know?" So he said, either it's a logical thing, or it's a pasuk. The logic is when people say, "Let's go eat," they mean to drink as well. So if you just made a vow, you won't eat, even though all you did was you drank. You breached your vow. The pasuk he brought first in the Gemara was Reish Lakish. Reish Lakish said that it talks about Maisa Sheni. It says va'achalta, you should eat, right? So it's talking about eating, and then it tells you what should you eat. There, one of the things is a tirosh, and tirosh is wine. So we see that drinking is included in eating. So the Gemara says, who says that wine means the drinking wine? Maybe it's a mixture together with beetroot juice or beetroot soup, and the wine there is part of a food, not part of a drink. So how do you know that drinking actually is included in eating? So up the Gemara 4 lines from the top, the Gemara will try to bring different proofs that when you say you won't eat, it also means you won't drink. From the following pasuk. What do you do with the Maaseh Sheni? Let's say it's too difficult, it's too cumbersome to bring it with you to the Shalayim, so you swap it over, exchange it for money. This money you bring with you to the Shalayim, and you're supposed to purchase certain things to eat while you are there. So what should you do? It says, you should take this money and place it whatever you desire. Babokar, batzaim, cattle, sheep, bayayin, and wine, over shecher. It says here wine. Shecher is old wine. So what do we see clearly from here? It says in the pasuk here that, and the end of the pasuk is, and what should you do with all this? You should eat it. So it says clearly eating, and we're talking about wine. So here's an ayah that eating includes drinking. Yain is wine. The pasuk concludes, and you should eat it. So we see eating includes drinking. Says the same problem. The dilma hachinami, maybe we're talking about here, we're talking about over here that you're mixing it with beetroot juice, and therefore it's food. It's not a drink. So the Gemara says here is different. You know why it's different here? Shecher ksiv. It says yayin v'shecher, and we're defining that shecher is not a separate item. Shecher is explaining what kind of wine should you use. A wine that is meshaker, a wine that intoxicates. So it's clearly we're talking about, and wine, when you cook it in the soup, it loses that capacity to intoxicate you. So therefore, it must be talking about drinking wine. Gemara says, Sheikha ksiv, midin meshaka, something that gets you intoxicated. It says the Gemara, okay, again, who said we're talking about drinking? Maybe Sheikha is not coming to define wine. Sheikha is saying something that causes you to become intoxicated, but not wine. It's something else. For example, the dilma, a food item, dveila ki'ilis. Maybe we're talking about a fig from the place of ki'is, and this fig is very I guess is alcoholic or whatever, and it gets you all excited. And therefore, maybe yain over here means cooked, wine, part of a cooked item, and shecher means devela kilis, the dried fig. And therefore, how do we know that when you say I won't eat, it includes drinking? What's this thing? The time we learned. We'll have it increases. Achal devela kiilis. You ate a dried fig from a place called kiilis, and vishos, and you drank dvash, you drank honey, and the chol of milk. The dvash, we drank honey, means med, sweet liquor. The nichlas and migdash. Then you walked inside the base of migdash for avad, and you served the kohen. But the service chai b'chai. Why? Because the Torah says you're not being intoxicated when you're serving the base of migdash. So again, no raya from there that eating includes drinking. Ella, you know how we know? A gzeda shava. Goma, we equate the sheikher, the word sheikher that says here by Maisa Sheni, with the word sheikher that says by a nozir. A nozir is not permitted to drink wine. And it says over there that also shecher, it says a miyayin v'shecher yazir, a nozir has to separate from wine and shecher. And malahal, there clearly we're talking about wine. A nozir is forbidden to drink wine. So therefore, afkan yain. Here shecher means a wine that is meshaker. And the Torah says v'achalta. So that's how we know that achila includes drinking. Omar Rava, so that's the basis in the pasuk, and I also proved it to you from the very Mishnah we just learned recently. Omar Rava says Rava, Afanana mitanina. It says in our Mishnah, what happens if somebody made a shvua shelo eichel? If somebody made a shvua that he won't eat, and then v'achal v'shasa, he ate and he drank. Ein chayiv alachas, and the Mishnah tells you that you might think he's chayiv two. You should know you're only chayiv one aveda. You only chayiv one aveda because you made one shvua here. You won't eat. So even though you ate, drank, you did two activities. Nevertheless, you only chayiv for one breach of the shvua. Now, if you can tell me that when I said I won't eat, it also include I won't drink. So the Mishnah is making a chiddush. It's as if I made two shavuos. I won't eat nor will I drink, even though I use. And so therefore, if I ate and I drank, I breached both parts of the shvua. Kamash one. But at the end of the day, you only made one shvua, even though it includes both, it incorporates both. But you made only one shvua, a single shvua. You bring one carbon. But itzichle the Tanash means you need the Mishnah tell you the ein l'chai belachas. If you're going to tell me that drinking is not included in eating, so when you said that you won't eat, all you meant was you won't eat, but drinking you're allowed to. So why does the Mishnah need to tell us that if you ate and drank, you only bring one carbon? Why would you think otherwise? So the Mishnah is telling us a shvua you won't eat, but achal you ate. Let me ask a question. If you can tell me that shti is la balachalachila, so shvua shelo oichel v'achal v'asim melach v'itzach shminim. Why doesn't the Mishnah say, for example, you made a shvua you won't eat, and then you ate and you jumped up and down, and you only bring one carbon? Of course you bring only one carbon because all you made a shvua was you won't eat. So if drinking, you tell me, is totally separate from eating, and you only made a shvua you won't eat, why would you think that you would have to bring that you would be liable for drinking when? Why? That the Mishnah needs to tell you you're not. Then a chayiv alacha. So that proves, says the Rava, that drinking is included in eating. Now Abaye is very sharp, and Abaye says to Rava, Abaye, let's follow your logic. So your logic is in our Mishnah that eating includes drinking, and the Mishnah therefore is a chadish that even though you ate and you drank, you only bring one aveda. So you only did one aveda. So that's the question. You want to say you bring a proof from the Mishnah that shti is included in eating. Look at the next part of the Mishnah where it says, if a guy says, I make a shvua that I won't eat. He made a double shvua, right? He said first I won't eat, and then separately he said I won't drink. Two shvuas, and the Mishnah says, yeah, makes sense. You ate, you breached shvua number one, you drank, you breached shvua number two, so therefore you're liable for both. So let me ask you a question. We have a rule, we had this a few times, and we'll have in the future. One shvua cannot coincide on top of another shvua. Ein shvua chalal shvua. If you already have a shvua, like we had the concept, mushba v'oimed mahar Sinai. Once you made a shvua at Har Sinai, you can't then make another shvua on top of that. There's no way for it to rest. So let me ask you a question. So very simply, the moment you said I won't eat, you're telling me means I won't drink either. So then if you made a second shvua, I won't drink, that shvua doesn't count because it has nowhere to rest. So if I said I won't eat, even though I ate and I drank, why does the Mishnah say you chayiv two shvuos? You chayiv only one. The Mishnah says if you said you won't eat, and then you said you won't drink, that second shvua that you won't drink is useless because you already have a shvua that you shouldn't drink because you said I won't eat, according to you. So then why are you getting a second malchus? Brilliant question. So the Bible says, once you said you won't eat, you're not allowed to drink anymore. Then afterwards he says, I won't drink. Why is it chayiv for second shvur? That second shvur never happened. So Rava agrees with Abaye's question. So as a result of that, he has to amend the Mishnah. What do you mean amend the Mishnah? He swaps the order around. He'll say, the first shvur I made was I won't drink. Now, everyone will agree, as I'm going to say later, that if you say I won't drink, it does not include eating. People don't say let's drink, and you mean let's eat. So first you made a shvur I won't drink. So that shvur is chal. And then you made a shvur that I won't eat. And since eating was not included in the first shvur, it's chal on the eating. And therefore, the Mishnah needs to tell you that that you have two separate Shavuos over here. So he swaps the order around. The only way to make it work. So he says it. It's part of his question. If he said, I won't drink twice, no. Said, Rabbi answers back, you know how you can learn the Mishnah? He said, first he said, I won't drink. And first he said he won't drink, and then he said he won't eat. What we believe is that when you say I won't eat, it includes drinking, because when you eat, also you mean let's drink. But to say let's drink does not automatically include eating. So if you first made a shua, I won't drink, the shua is only limited to drinking. And then when you say I won't eat, it goes on that as well. But if he said if he said I will swear I won't eat, and then he said and I won't drink, so you want to ask a question. So what do you tell me, Rabbi? You agree with Abaya? You agree with Abaya's question? You agree with Abaya's question that if he first said I won't eat, that automatically includes drinking, and then if you say a separate shua I won't drink, it's not considered a second shua because it's nowhere for it to go. So you're saying, he ate and drank, only chayiv one, because only one shua achil, the other shua didn't count. If so, at the Tani Reisha, why does the Mishnah start out? He made a shua that he won't eat. And he ate and he drank. He chayiv one. Listen, let him say a bigger chiddush. Shavua, you made a double shavua, and still you only chayiv one. If the first shavua you made was I won't eat. Listen, let the Mishnah a bigger chiddush. Shavua shelo, I made a shhavua that I won't eat, and according to you, when you say you won't eat, automatically it includes that I won't drink. And then you separately you say shalash I won't drink, and the chiddush is that second shavua doesn't count. And in the chayiv alachas, if you drank, you ate and drank, you only chayiv one of it. That's a much bigger chiddush. Why doesn't the Mishnah say that if you are buying Rav are correct? Surely, if all he said was, I won't eat, and he ate and drank, you only chayiv one. So Gemara now, therefore, disagree.
So model. Say the first statement of the Mishnah says, Shvur shaloi oichel v'achal v'shasa ein chayiv achas.
Yeah.
Is that implying that the achal and the shoisa is one action of achila, and therefore he's chayiv, or he doesn't hold that he made a shvua on shoisa?
No, Trace asked the question. Maybe the pshat is that you Trace all the same asked. Maybe the pshat in the Mishnah is that you actually shoisa is not part of achila. That's why you only chayiv one. If that's, they all basically answered, that's a pshat in the Mishnah should have said, if someone makes a shvua that he won't eat, and he drank, why do you have to say he ate and drank? Just say, and he drank, and he's not chayiv. If the Mishnah's purpose is to tell you, if you said I won't eat, and you ate, of course you're chayiv. I mean, the Mishnah tell you that. Mishnah's chiddush is that if you ate and drank, drinking is, according to your question, drinking should not be included. So then the Mishnah should have said it more clearly. If somebody made a sure I won't eat, and then all they did was they drank, they're not chayiv. Why do you have to say they ate and drank? What's the relevance of that? Must be the relevance is that you are chayiv for drinking, but because eating and drinking both come under the same banner as one sure, therefore you only chayiv one. So the Gemara asks a question. According to Abaye and Rava, that they both say that if you made a second shur, I won't drink. It's not chal. So and the pshat in the Mishnah why it is chal is because you swap the order around. First you made a shur you won't drink, and then you made a shur you won't eat. That's what Rava says. We swapped it around. So then why doesn't the Mishnah then say what do you call it? The Mishnah said big chiddush. You should say like this: if somebody made a shua that I won't eat, the Mishnah should have spelled it out. The opening of the Mishnah should be much more than just I made a shua I won't eat, and you only chayiv one if you ate and drank. Say you made two shuas: I won't eat, I made a shua I won't drink, and still you only chayiv one. That's a much bigger chiddush. So therefore, the Gemara argues with both of them. So the Gemara says like this: Go back to the Mishnah the way you read the Mishnah our way. First you say you don't eat, then you made a sure you won't drink, and you chayiv too. Why taka you chayiv too? The shti is already included in achila. The shiny hacha. Generally speaking, you're correct, but over here he clearly demonstrated to us that when he said he won't eat, he meant not drinking. Vaharaya, a minute later, he made a shua he won't drink. Why did he make a shua he won't drink? Because when he, in his mind, remember, shua all has to do with your mind. When he said he won't eat, what he meant was he won't eat. That's all. Vaharaya, a minute later, he made a shua I won't drink. So in this, from this person's perspective, eating and drinking are two independent activities. And that's why in this case, normally Achilles does include Shtia, but not in this case. Not when he made two shuas. So we learn the normal way. B'shayna is different. He said first he won't eat. And then he won't drink. Goli Adaiti revealed to us that when he said he won't eat, he meant just he won't eat. Ravashi goes further and he says, I'll bring another raya from the Mishnah. It says, Shvua Shalai let's say a Shvua that I won't eat. Right? The end of the Mishnah says, very end of the Mishnah says, he made a Shvua he won't eat, but Achal and he ate Oichlin She'einu Lachila. He said that he won't eat, and then what did he eat? Food that is not suitable to eat. V'shasa mashkin she'einu ruyin l'shti, and he drank liquids which are not suitable to drink. Potter, he is potter. Now, it sounds like to me the only reason why he's potter is because he drank something which is not suitable. Had he drank something which was suitable, he'd be chayiv. So clearly, all he said was he won't eat, and yet you say you're mechayiv for drinking. That proves that when you say you won't eat, it also means I won't drink. All he said was he won't eat. So Gemara says that's not really a strong raya. Why? Because Dilma the Omar Tarti. Maybe the Mishnah is talking about, he said, maybe drinking is not included in eating. And the Mishnah is just summarizing. And the Mishnah said if he ate food that wasn't suitable, if he drank a liquor that was suitable, we're talking about you make two shvuos, one for eating, one for drinking. Can't prove one way or another, because here the Mishnah is not out to tell you about the shvuos, it's more out to tell you about if you breached them or not by eating something which is not suitable. Dilma the Amar Tarti, maybe he's talking about, he said two shvuos, shvuos la'echel, shvuos la'eshta. Sure won't eat and sure won't drink. Then the Mishnah continues, if he made a shvua, shelo he made a shvua that he won't eat, and then he ate paschitin, he ate all kinds of bread. He ate a bread of wheat, a bread of barley, a bread of spelt, and the din is only chayiv one. Why? Because he said only that he won't eat. He only said one. Yeah. But then the Mishnah says, but if he spelled it out, I won't eat bread of wheat, I won't eat bread of barley, I won't eat bread of spelt. And then he ate all three, he's chayiv 3 avedis. Says the Gemara, why? So you're telling me because he spelled it out, it's 3 shavuos. No, maybe the reason, if he would have just said, I won't eat, he can't eat anything. So he has to spell out what he won't eat. Who said it's 3 shavuos? Maybe all is one shavua, he won't eat. Now he's telling us, so what won't I eat? I won't eat wheat, I won't eat barley, and I won't eat spelt. That's all. But I'll eat everything else. But maybe the whole purpose why he itemized these things to tell you these are the only things I don't want to eat. Says no, because that's his purpose, and the wording should have been differently. He should have said, I won't eat chitin sa'id in the I won't eat wheat, I won't eat barley, I won't eat spelt. Why say 3 times pass, as if to say 3 different shvuos? So you better wait. No, if he wouldn't have said pass, the dilma lokas, if he would have said, I won't eat wheat, barley, and spelt, maybe it means he won't chew the grains. But bread he's allowed to eat. Some are showing say bread he won't allow to eat, but maybe he's also including the grains. So Gemara says, no, in that case, to remedy that, all he should have done was the Havlamema should have said, pass chitin, I won't eat a loaf of bread, sa'idin, barley, or kusmin, or spelt. So then clearly he's saying bread. Why did he say 3 times pass? Says Gemara, I'll tell you why he said 3 times pass. Not because he wants to make 3 shvuas, he wants to be clear, because he can still interpret his words differently. Why? The dilma pas chitin lechol. Maybe when it comes to wheat, he meant a bread, but sa'idin v'kois. But the other two, he said, I won't eat it. What do you want to say? You said he could have just said a loaf of bread of wheat, and barley and spelt. Maybe then we would interpret his shvuah as follows: he won't eat wheat if it's a loaf, and he won't eat barley and the spelt in the grain form, because he didn't spell it out clearly. Taish already asked, when it comes to the Darim and Shavuos, it all depends on what you meant, what your intention is. It's in your heart. Even though I have a general rule at Dvarim, Shavlev, and Dvarim, that's where you're contradicting what you're saying, and you're having in mind something else. You're having more kedusha there. You're selling, you're selling your land, but in your mind you have, if I don't get to Israel, I want the land back. So your dvarim shebelev is contradicting what you said. Over here, you're not contradicting at all what you said. You're explaining what you said. So what's the problem? Why do we even have to be so pedantic in his wording? So Taser seems to be saying something like Maris Ayin, at least also in public, when they hear your words, they should feel that you're saying, you're behaving according to what you said. So the Gemara therefore is saying, how do you know it's 3 Shavuos? Maybe he just wants to delineate and be clear about what he's making a Shavuot on. So the said maybe if you would have just said pas chitin, kusman is maybe pas chitin would be the loaf of bread, and the other one's just the grains. So the Gemara, no, if that's the case, the Havamim should have said pas chitin, a loaf of bread, vishel sa'idin, and of barley, and of spelt. And then we understand he's talking about bread, of spelt and all that. Why did you have to say pas 3 times? So it's 3 Shavuos. So anyone know the dilma ade taruvas? If he would have said, "I make a shvur that I won't eat a bread from wheat and barley and spelt," we would think he meant one loaf that has all 3 ingredients together. He won't eat that. But if it's separate, he would eat it. So he had to spell that out, that he's not going to eat, even the loaf is strictly wheat, strictly spelt, strictly barley, he won't eat it. Aim, if that's the case, then he should have said, the same thing applies barley, the same thing is spelt. Pas lamali. Why do you have to just say the same word pas 3 times? It's redundant. Obviously, he wanted to make 3 separate shavuos. The Gemara goes further. The same thing. He made a shvur. You won't drink. Then he drank many different kinds of drinks because there's only one drink. But if he spelled it out, yayin and cholav and vodka, if he spelled it out, then it's 3 shvuos. So okay, you explained over there. How do we know? Because it says 3 times. Pas, that tells us it's 3 different shvuos. Why did he spell out 3 times pas? Because he wants to make 3 shvuos. I understand that. He had no alternative. If he says, I don't want to drink, you had to spell out where he doesn't want to drink. You had no choice but to spell it out. My havale, what else could he have done? What else could he have done? My havale meme. How do you know that he's trying to say 3 shvuos? Maybe the reason why he's highlighting these 3 things are that these are only 3 things he doesn't want to drink. Everything else he does want to drink. Says the Gemara, maybe trying to say, but everything else I could drink. Papa says, you know what we're talking about here? These drinks are sitting there right there on the table, right in front of you. So all you had to do was, I swear I won't drink these. Then we know exactly what you're saying. Why spell out these when you're standing right in front of it? Obviously, it's 3 different shvuos. So who said the dilma eluhu de. Maybe if he says I won't drink what's on this table, it will sound like, okay, these bottles on the table I won't drink, but I can drink the same wine if it's from the fridge or from my wine cellar. So you had to spell it out. I won't drink wine. I won't drink this. Ella the Amma Shvua the Leishasinu. He could have said a shvua that I won't drink. Kegoin elu, like these. Okay, then we would understand it's not just limited to what's on the table. It's anything that's the same as this. So you want to know again. People might make a mistake. Dilma kegoin elu the Leishasinu botzim hachitemachi. When he said like these, doesn't maybe what you could interpret what it means is not only wine or milk, whatever it is, but also the amount, like these. If it's exactly the same amount, if it's more, it's all right. Less is all right. But these amounts, I won't drink either because it's like these. So he had to spell out, no, I am not going to drink wine, milk, and all these things. He could have said, I swear I will not drink from this kind, from this category. So the Gemara said, again, you can make a mistake. The dimul min elu if he would have said, I will not drink from this min, okay, you would interpret it, he won't drink any more wine from the wine cellar. But what's sitting on the table, he will drink. In that case, he should have said, elu uminayu. Then you know what? He could have just easily said, I will not drink these, what's on the table, and everything else that's exactly the same. And that's it. By spelling out these 3 things, it's like 3 different shavuos. Rab Acha Be'Ravika says no. It's talking about a case over here. Your friend is pestering you. Come in and join me for a drink of wine or drink of milk or drink of honey or whatever it is. Drink of juice. Ask the omelet boy v'shtei imi yain v'shem advash. Come in and drink with me wine, oil, and honey. The hoyer leimer. He should have. All he had to say was, "Shvu, I swear, shalai eshtimach. I won't drink with you because we know what we're talking about. You're pestering me to enter your house and drink these things. I don't want to." So all I had to say was, "I swear, I will not drink with you." Then we know what he means. Why do you have to spell out yayin, shemen, advash, lumli? Why spell that out? Now, in this case, in Masar, if the Rishonim say, then all, if he would have said, I swear I won't drink with you, then only thing that would have been prohibited is that drinks from the friend, those drinks from your friend's house. But my own home, my own drinks, I could drink. So anyway, further,
in terms of practically speaking, who's obligating this individual with a korban?
It could be either Malchus or a korban, as we learn right now. So two agents warn this person and say, hey, you know, you have 3 Shavuos here, and you're going to be able all 3 if you drink these things.
That's it. Wouldn't Gale Date, when he turns around and he goes, no, I didn't mean that. I meant these 3 bottles in front of me.
Teresa said before that even though the Chayra, if he said I meant this all along, nevertheless there's an Inya Marasign. So maybe he won't get punished, but there's still an Inya Marasign. And korban is you go to Rav and say, this is what happened, this is what I said, what should I do? Should I bring 1 korban, 3 korbanos? I mean, you'll take care of it yourself. Says the Gemara further. Tanan Hosam. Now, this idea that you say a few words and it becomes like separate things, we learned elsewhere something similar, and we're trying to see whether it's the same here or not. Tanan Hosam, we learned over there. This is talking about if someone makes a shavua that you never gave me the pekotin, and then he was made that he lied, he swore false, he has to pay it back, and they have to bring an osham and all that. So Tanan Hosam, we learned over there regarding the pekotin. Ten li chitin v'sa'odin v'kusbin. Reuben said to Shimon, I gave you a deposit of the wheat, barley, kusbin, and spelt, and give it back to me. Give it back to me. Shavua, he swears she'ein lo b'yodi klum. He swears that he has nothing there, and nothing there. Ein chayev ela achas. The din is but later when he admits it, he has to pay it back, the principal, plus another fifth, a penalty of and plus the korban. So yeah, now even though the guy demanded from you 3 different things, chitin and saidin and kusmin, and I denied it all, then I did one aveda. But what happens if he answers back, Shavua she'ein, not Shavua, I have nothing of yours. But instead of saying nothing of yours, he said, I don't have by me chitin, I don't have by me sa'odin, I don't have kusmin. He spelled out the 3 things. So it's as if he made 3 different Shavuos. He's chayiv as if he made 3 Shavuos. He has to pay the penalty for each one and bring a korban for each one. Yeah, it sounds very similar. And then Rabbi Yochanan said, and this is the comment that we were going to talk about. Afilu pruta mikulam mitzarefes. Rabbi Yochanan says that even because you need a shava pruta to be chayiv, your stealing has to be a shava pruta. So Rabbi Yochanan says, Rechov Gimel and Beis in the middle of the page. Rabbi Yochanan says that if between the 3, the chitin, the sa'ir, and the kusmin, you have the equal of pruta that you denied, then they all combined together, and you chayiv, the penalty and the korban. Now there's an argument between Rav Acha and Ravina. So the guy said, I have nothing of yours, I have no wheat, I have no things. So it's sort of, are there 3 denials here or 4 denials here? There's an argument between Rav Acha and Ravina. Chad Omar aprotim mechayve. The one that says, you're chayiv only for the specifics, the wheat, the barley, because you lied about those. But you're kloli loy mechayiv, and you're not chayiv for the general thing when you deny, you said, ein lech b'yodeh, I have nothing of yours. For that, you're not chayiv, only chayiv with these 3 individuals. And the chad omar kol nam chayiv. The other one says, no, you're chayiv also for the kloli, you're chayiv also for the general statement. You said, I have nothing of yours. Now, hochamai, so the question is over here, what would be the din be over here? Would Rabbi Acha and Ravina also argue in our Mishnah that maybe if he said a shavua that I won't eat, and then you say I won't eat bread from wheat, bread from barley, and this, do we say that really 4 shavuos there? First, generally I won't eat, and then the 3 different things or not? The klal a separate shavua, or just to have the pratim and nothing else? Says the Gemara, what would it be over here? So the Gemara, what are you comparing here to there. The din is when it comes to, in the case of Shavuos, because we actually had a Maruba, that if you deny it, then you admit it, and then you deny the same thing again, you admit it again, you could deny it 10 times, and each time you have to pay the penalty again. But by Shavuot, we have a rule. You can't have Shavuot compounding. You can't have one Shavuot, another layer of Shavuot, another on top of each other. So he says as follows. Hochi hashta. Hosa mechayva kol. There it's possible to mechayiv on the klal umechayiv on protim, and you can mechayiv the protim as well. I look at how can you be mechayiv on both? Because over there by stealing, by the case of the guy gave you the deposit, you denied you ever received it, and then you turn around, you did. And you just swore. Then you would lie again and you swear again. As many times as you deny it, you swear it again and again and again. So therefore, therefore we can say that you have four different malchus and including the club. It's not a problem. So you can have you can have a shvua. You're going to get punished for generally saying ein lach biyadikum, and they get punished for saying I don't have any chitin by me. Not a problem. It's not doubling up because each time is a separate aveda. Over here, Esau Gadati but if you can tell me that once I said I won't eat, that shvu is there, and I'm going to be liable for that. How can you then make him chayiv for the wheat, for the barley, for each one separately? Everyone is already sworn in Har Sinai, and you can't compound, you can't add layers on top of layers. And therefore, over here, it's only the protim, and there's no clouds. Only three individual shvus. I won't eat bread of wheat, I won't eat bread of barley, and I won't eat bread of spelt. But the general shvur that I won't eat bread does not come into the equation here. Okay, then it continues, shvur shaloichom, and if he made a shvur he won't eat, then he ate things which are not suitable. And then it says, and if he ate, then he won't eat, and he ate shkotzim or ramosim. Over there, what happened? The machlek is the Chachamim Reb Shimon whether you are chayiv or not. So the Gemara now explains. Hagufa kasha. There seems to be a contradiction from this part of the Mishnah to the next part of the Mishnah. Why? Amrit. First you say shvur shloichel. I made a general shvur. I will not eat. And then v'achol oichlin sheinu l'chil. You ate things which are not suitable. And right now the Gemara thinks when we say you ate things which are not suitable, what it means is you ate treif. You ate things which are not suitable. You drank drinks which are not suitable. Potter, you are potter. Okay. The Gemara at the end of the sugya will change his mind. So really, we should learn tonight till the end of the sugya, which is on the bottom of the next page. V'hadar tani shvua shala'echel. Then the Mishnah says, if you made a shvua that you won't eat, same case. But v'achal levelos treifish gotzer l'masim. You ate tray for things. Chayiv, you are chayiv. You're chayiv. What's going on here? Ma'ishna reisha the potter. Ma'ishna sefer the chayiv. How is it in the first part when you ate food which is not suitable? And right now the Gemara thinks, what does unsuitable food mean? It means treif, and you're telling me that what? That you are potter, because when you say you won't eat, you meant normal, suitable food, not unsuitable food. And then you tell me, but if you ate treif, you're chayiv. Treif is unsuitable food. Ma'aseh sefer, the chayiv. Somebody said, holy kasha. So the Gemara right now is going to go under the impression, interpret the Mishnah as following. Later the Gemara will change his mind. Reisha is talking about bestam. Reisha is talking about you said you won't eat because you said that you won't eat. Probably what you meant was food that's suitable, and because you didn't spell it out, we'll assume what does a person mean? Say won't eat things that I could eat. I don't want to eat. So if you ate treif, it's not included in your shvur. But Sefer is talking about mefarish. She spelled out, I won't eat. I won't eat things which are not suitable because you spelled it out. I won't eat treif, or I won't eat things which are not suitable. Therefore, the Chachamim say the mefarish. So, and therefore you're chayiv because you spelled it out. I won't eat things which are not suitable. I won't eat treif. Says the Gemara. Now let's understand that. Mefarish na megufa tiksha. Let's understand that. So you said I won't eat treif. We already had the Gemara a few days ago. I won't eat treif. So why would that shvur? And then I ate treif. Besides the fact that I ate treif, I also preached a shvur. But we just learned before that one shvur cannot be compounded or cannot be laid on top of another shvur. Every one of us was at Arvas Moyev. Some say it means also Har Sinai. Machlekes of Har Sinai is also shvur or not. But Arvas Moyev, there was a shvur. We all made a shvur, and that shvur binding all the future generations. So we all made a shvur that will keep the mitzvahs, that we won't eat treif. And now I make a shvur that I won't eat treif. That shvur has nowhere to go. You can't, ain't shvur chalal shvur. So how is it that the end of the Mishnah says that if I said, you're telling me it's mefarish, I spelled out clearly that I won't eat treif, and if I ate treif, I'll be liable for two things, for treif and for shvur. How can you be chai for shvur? The shvur is nowhere to be chal. So the one asked, am I mujba har sinai? You already made a shvur on har sinai. Says the Gemara, and we already had it 3 days ago. Rav Shmuel, Rabbi Yechon, Amri, they say we talk about the koilel dvarim hamotorim in dvarim asurim, and we'll talk about the next day too. All about koilel. This is different. What you didn't say, you didn't make a shvur. I won't eat treif. You made a shvur that I won't eat kosher or treif. So because the shvur will be effective when it comes to the kosher, and it's all part of the same shvur. Migli the chal I had to once the shvur, part of the shvur, is effective at least for things which are permitted. It is already dragged along, and it's chal also on the treif. That's why in this case, because you spelled it out, you'll be punished for eating treif because you made a shvur. That's the view of Rabbi Yechon. The Shloki is the Gemara spell out explaining in a minute why Rabbi Yechon and Shloki are arguing. The Shloki says no. It cannot be effective either. The mefadish chatzishir, either. Now remember, first remember there's an argument Rabbi Yechon and Rish Lakish and Yuma we had the fine base. If chatzishir, the Torah says you're not allowed to eat a kazayis. What happens if you ate half a kazayis? Is chatzishir asur min haTorah or is it mutar min haTorah? Rabbi Yechon says the chatzishir is asur min haTorah. Just you don't get lashes and you don't bring a carbon, but it's still asur min haTorah. And Rish Lakish says chatzishir is mutar min haTorah. We did have Rab Shimon, we'll have him again now. Rab Shimon who says that even a kosher lemakus, when it comes to getting punished, administering malchus, even the slightest amount you're a chayiv, and the reason is because achshave, the fact that you ate it proves to us, and you were warned, right? You were warned, and you still went ahead and ate it, was a proof that for you it's chashuv, and therefore you get punished. It's called achshave, but not for carbon. So now says Rish Lakish. Rish Lakish old chatish is mutar min haTorah. So Rish Lakish therefore wants to say, if you make a shvur, I will not eat a chatzishir of treif. Forget about koil. I will not eat a chatzishir of treif. The shvur is chal because less than a shir, mahatorah is not forbidden. So now we had before an argument of Akiva Rabbanon. According to Akiva, we make a shvur even a mashu is also. According to Rabbanon, only if it's the full shir. So it says Reish Lakish. Definitely talking about a chatzishir. Either I am a farish chatzishir rabban. According to the rabban, you had to specify. I swear I will not eat a half a share of treif, and therefore it's chal because under a kazayis mahatorah it's not awesome. Or ibestam malira kiva. Kiva holds that every shvu is mashu, and therefore it's still effective. Says the Gemara, I understand why Rabbi Yechon was Rish Lakish, the Mukil Mastisik, the Behaka. Rish Lakish try to sort of make a difference. Whether Rabbi Kiva, we go one way, Kod Rabbanan, we go another way. So therefore, I don't like that. Now, L'chayda, there's another reason all the Rishonim ask why Rabbi Yechon cannot agree with Rish Lakish. Because Rabbi Yechon holds Chatzishir Dasam Natayra. So you're going to make a sure I won't eat a half of his eyes or treif. So, but it's since Mahatorah, it's forbidden. That means it's mushba v'oimed Mahasinai. How are you going to add it on? So generally, the Rishonim want to say that even according to Rabbi Yechon, that says the chatzishir asum natayra, but it's a much lower level, and we have a concept that an iser chomer, a stricter iser, can fall on top of an iser kal, a lighter iser, and it just elevates the lighter iser. So over here, as some of the Rishonim pointed out, others, that this iser of chatzishir Yechon is not only not a loisase, it's not even an naseh, it's merely an iser. And therefore, if you made a shvua where there's malchus in the shvua or a carbon, if you made a shvua that you won't eat a chatzishir, it will be effective because we don't treat a chatzishir as mushba v'oimed mahar sinai. That's how they answer. Ella, they shlocked my time. Why just look at Yechon? What's about koil? He says, I don't believe in iser koil. I believe in iser meisif. And there's this difference between Isa Koil, Isa Meiser. And the next whole blot in the Gemara is all about this. So in a nutshell, an Isa Koil is there's an Isa already something, and let's say treif, an avela, treif, avela, and Yom Kippur. You couldn't eat it. Why couldn't you eat it? Because it's treif. Then comes along Yom Kippur, and you ate treif on Yom Kippur. That's called, you will get two Avedis. Why? L'chayra ain't Isa Chalal Isa. You already have Isa Treif. How can Isa and Kippur fall on top of the Isa Treif? It's because the Isa and Kippur is an Isa Koil, because Yom Kippur adds so many other food items. You're not allowed to eat any food. Not only you're not allowed to eat nevela, you're not allowed to eat any food. Kosher food, you can't eat anything. And therefore, since it's chal on these other pieces and all these other things, it extends also to this one. That's called an Isser Koil. Isser Moisiv is when this very object that is forbidden, you added another layer. For example, treifa fats. A person ate treifa fats, and and then and it was a carbon. A person ate treifa fats, so this treifa fats is usher. And then what happened was it became nicer. So this very piece of fats before was permitted for the mizbech, was Hashem's food. That's what happens to the chaylev of a carbon, and it's only forbidden to you. But then when it became nicer, it became forbidden to Hashem as well. So this very item now, another layer was added to this. That's called Isser Moisef. Says the Shlakish. We only believe in Isser Moisef. We don't believe in Isser Koil. So what you said was, I promise, I make sure I won't eat treif and I won't eat kosher. That's called an Isser Koil. The treif itself doesn't come anymore, Asa. It does come to an Isser Koil. You don't not add anything to it. As far as I'm concerned, I'm not going to eat it anyway. So you didn't add anything by making the shua. So therefore, that's called an Isser Koil. And an Isser Koil, he said, so that's other pieces, does not drag along. So he says it. Ki amin Isser Koil. When you say Isser Koil, he says only Isser Abba Me'ela. But he says, where an Isser that comes, let's say, by itself, we'll see later. What do you call it? By Yom Kippur, we're going to have a machlekes if, I started explaining to you all about Isser Koil, Isser Moiseh before we get to that. The Shlokish is saying here, when do we say Isser Koil is effective? Like Yom Kippur. Even where Isser Koil does work. Sorry, I jumped ahead a little bit later in the morning. When Isser Koil does work, he says, like Yom Kippur and Nevela. You didn't do anything. It happens by itself. So even I'll grant you, we believe in Isser Koil. We'll see later, it's big machlekes, yes or no. But if you believe in Isser Koil, that's only like Yom Kippur and Nevela. So the Yom Kippur comes by itself. But when it comes to an Isser where you are the one who's making it, by making a shua, Isser Koil doesn't do anything. Does not spread the Isser. So the Gemara, okay, I understand the Shlakish, so why does Hashem say potter? Now let's understand. The Mishnah said that if you said that you won't eat and you ate treif, it says you're chayiv. And we explained right now according to Rabbi Yechon, because Nisa Koil, according to the Shlakish, because he made a shvur, I won't eat a half a share of treif, a half a zayis of treif, and therefore fine. So and that is not muzbev masina, and the shvur is chal, and that's why you're chayiv. But what's the svar of Rav Shimon? So you know Hashem patas. Could Rav Shimon hold that even a mashu is mushba v'aymed b'hasina? As we learned before, Tanya we learned Rav Shimon says kol shulamakas. When it comes to malchus, even the slightest amount, you're already over. So therefore, treif, you're always mushba v'aymed b'hasina. There's nowhere for the second shvuah, nowhere for the shvuah to be chal. It's not effective, and that's why you'll be over for eating treif, but you won't be over for breaching your shvuah. Okay, I understand that. Rabbi Yechon says that is talking about koil, Isser Koil. My time, the Rav Shimon, the potter. Why does he say potter? So the Gemara says very simply, midway time of Isser Koil. You just explained according to Rabbi Yechon what's the reason why the shvuah is effective, because Isser Koil, since it lands on the kosher, it also is effective on the treif. Rav Shimon the Tamed Leslie Isser Koil. Rav Shimon doesn't believe in the whole concept of koil. The Tanya we learned. Rav Shimon says, "Ha'oichel nevela b'yem kippurim." Rav Shimon says, "You ate nevela kippurim." No, Rav Shimon holds, I don't care if it's an isur that you put on it. I don't care if it's an isur abba me'elov like Yom Kippur. I don't believe in isur koil. I might believe in isur ma'aser, but not in isur koil. Potter, you potter. Says the Gemara, there's a rule by Shavuot. With the rule by Shavuot, the Torah says the Shavuos bitu. There's no kind of Shavuot. Shavuos bitu is where you bring the special carbon called carbon oil of the commensurate. It's only limited to a Shavuos bitu. So by a Shavuos bitu, the Torah says lahora oil heitiv, that you make a Shavuot either to harm yourself or to benefit yourself. So we learn out from there that every Shavuot needs to be able to go both sides. that whatever shvua you make, in order to be effective, it has to be able to be a lav and a hain. If you can only do it in the manner of a lav or only in the manner of a hain, it's not a shvua's bitui. So says the Gemara. What did the Shlaki say? You made a shvua that I will not eat a half a kazayis of treif. That's a lav. And he says, yeah, it's effective because Mahatoida you're allowed to eat less than a kazayis. So you also have it in a hain. If I make a shvua, I will eat a half a kazayis of treif. It will be effective because according to the Torah, there's no iser less than a kazayis. So by the Shlaki, his answer we can understand it's a valid shvua. There's a lav and there's a hain. So makes sense what I just said, lav and hain. But Rabbi Yechon says you made a shvur. I will not eat any food, whether it's mutadika food or whether it's treifa food. That's the lav, and they say, yeah, isa koil, it's effective. So what would the hain be? The hain would be I will eat food and I will eat treif. You can't make a shvur to eat treif. How can you do that? And according to Rabbi Yechon, how can you do that? Says the Gemara, okay, you say you won't eat treif and you won't eat kosher. How can it be hain? Well, you make a shvur that I'll eat kosher and non-kosher food. You can't make a shvur you'll eat non-kosher food. So Gemara says, you know what? Change what I said before. Forget the whole thing. What's bothering us? The beginning of the Mishnah, where it says the first part of the last part of the Mishnah, where he says you made a shvur you won't eat, and then you ate something which is not suitable, and we said that you are potter, and we said that not suitable means that you ate treif, and then the next line of the Mishnah says you ate treif yachai. We tried to make a difference, so we said, oh, here's talking about stam, here's mefarish. Forget all that. Ella, you know what the Mishnah talking about? You ate something not suitable. It wasn't food. You ate sand. Ella Kedirava Dama Rava said Shvua Shala Eichel. If a guy says I won't eat, so the means anything. But then he's the Ochel offer ate sand potter. Why is he potter for ate sand? Because sand is not considered food. So now we no longer have to change around pshat in the Mishnah, and the Mishnah is not talking about you spelled anything out. He didn't spell anything out. He just says. So the first part of the Mishnah is you ate something unsuitable. You ate sand, so you potter. The next part of the Mishnah is you said I won't eat. You said you won't eat, and then you ate treif. So and the Chachamim say you're chayiv because everything is included. You said you won't eat, so everything is included. And the hain is I'll eat kosher because you didn't say you can, or you said I will eat. You could say I will eat just because I'm going to eat today. No, that's a positive rule. You can do that. Doesn't mean I have to eat treif. I'll eat. So when you said I won't eat and I will eat, there's a lav and there's a hain. We take away what we said before that you spelled out I will eat treif because that's a problem. If you said I won't eat treif, that's a lav. There's no way you can have the flip side, a hain of it. But now that we've just changed our mind and the Mishnah is not talking about at all that you mefarish. She said, "Stam, I won't eat." That includes everything, kosher, not kosher. Therefore, if you ate treif, you get two punishments for treif and for shvur. And the other part of the Mishnah where it says you said I won't eat, and you ate something not suitable. Your pot is talking about eating sand. We actually learned. It says at the end of the Mishnah. The very end of the Mishnah, this finishes the Gemara. My wife is also to have any benefit from me whatsoever. If I ate something in the morning, what happens? The Mishnah says he ate treif in the morning. The fact is he ate. The wife was also. So what do you see from here? So we see from here is that nevelas are considered suitable to eat. He said, if I ate something, my wife is also to me, and he ate treif. So we see that treif is suitable. So when the beginning of the Mishnah said unsuitable, it meant sand, like Rava said. Says the Gemara, your proof is not a proof at all. What are you comparing? In this case of the wife, he said, what I ate already. Well, if he happened to eat sand, that means in his mind, that's food because he ate it. And then he swears that if I ate something today, my wife is forbidden to me, even though it was sand, she is still forbidden. The fact is that he ate it. And so it has nothing to do with treif or not treif. By him eating it, he revealed that to him, this is considered food. Or sorry, if he ate treif, and because he ate it, true, legally he shouldn't eat it. So when a person makes a shrew about the future, we'll say it doesn't include those things. But if he already ate it, and he says that if I ate, my wife is also, and he ate shkatz and masim, he showed us he doesn't care about the legal ramifications. He ate it. So what is he showing? That to him, treif is food. And therefore, the wife is also to him. This has nothing to do with what we're talking about a shvur, that about the future, whether that includes treif or not. Okay, we'll stop over here. And the next Gemara is all about Isa Curly Samaisid, which we sort of jumped a little bit ahead.